the first song I ever made felt like it was something special. That's the moment I knew my life was gonna change, because I put my heart into the shit, you feel me? In my head, I was like, I'm famous. Oh, frick, once I made that song, I'm like, I'm famous. It's me. It's over. I grew up in East Hollywood, around the like Santa Monica Western area. When people think of Hollywood, they think of like the Walk of Fame and all the like movie stars and mansions and shit. But the little area I grew up in was, feel like, just as rough as any other fucking beat down, poverty driven area anywhere else in the world. You feel me? Like my dad and my stepdad both gangbang. So my whole life growing up, elementary and middle school, my only thought process, like the only thing I wanted in my life was like growing up, like I'm gonna join a gang, you feel me? Being in a 2-bedroom apartment with 10 people, it's a lot of arguing going on. I feel like it's a lot of money problems, obviously. We all fucking in the 2-bedroom apartment, obviously it's not money like that. So I'm like, I don't wanna be around all this shit. I'm out, I'm gonna go outside.
I was a single mom, so I had to be his mom and his dad. I would get calls at all hours of the night. When I would be at work, I would get calls because he would be getting in trouble. It was always something with him.
Yeah, I used to get in lots of trouble. I got suspended so many times, I can't even tell you how many times I got suspended. I just wouldn't go to school. I'd just be out all day. I think I was sneaking out the house like 3-4 times a week, because my mom be working all night, so my grandma be in the living room. I'm out.
The majority of the time, he was getting in trouble for tagging. He got arrested a few times. He was detained, and I would always tell him, once you turn 18, they're not gonna call me anymore. So you need to get your stuff together. There are times when I would want to like lean on his dad, and he was never really available for him. So
like, I don't know what it is to have like a full-time father figure, and I wouldn't know what it would be like to I don't know any other way, you feel me? I didn't see my mom a lot. Like, she worked so hard to try to provide for me that I had to grow up with my grandma.
Cuando tenía como 12 años, agarraba su patineta y se iba. Y yo le decía que iba a ir a comprar, pero nada más para vigilar dónde estaba él.
So my grandma used to always kick it outside the apartment and like watch like towards the street. So when I sneak out the balcony, I come around the building this way, through this little way. I come out through here, and I used to put my foot right here and jump over, and I was out to the streets, man. I wouldn't be home till like 10, 11 at night. I came home one time, there was a bunch of people out here waiting for me, jumped my ass, all types of shit, man. It was some people I ain't fuck with because of graffiti, man. Like, people crossing each other's names out and shit. So I'm coming home from school, and I get here, I already know what time it is. So I walk up, I'm like, oh man, I know what time it is right now. He like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? Oh, whoa, whoa. I get packed out right here. And then I got up quick, and I'm like, damn, I hope my grandma ain't see that shit, because my grandma always outside, man. Always fucking outside watching. I think when I got towards high school, I was like, nah, that's not what I want. Because like when you a gangbanger, you can't fuck with everybody, you feel me? So I'm like, that's not what I want for my life. Like, I want to be able to go everywhere. I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want, fuck with whoever I want, you feel me? And then on top of that, I was into so much other stuff. I was into skateboarding. I was into different music from everyone else I knew. So I just knew that was the life I wanted, so I did something else.
I think the turning point was probably when he turned 18, and I kind of gave him an ultimatum, and I'm like, you either get a job or you need to continue your education.
She's like, you 18, you got to go get a job, you got to provide for yourself now. She's like, I provided for you your whole life, and you bad as fuck, you not doing nothing with your life. And I'm like, fuck it is what it is. started looking for my own fucking apartment. So that's how I came across my first apartment where I made Musty at. I feel like that's where history was created right there, like the whole vibe of there. So I'm just feeling myself, and the whole vibe I had of myself, that's where Musty came from.
After like the Musty song he made, I think that's when something like clicked in his head.
Her kicking me out the house just made me be like, yo, I gotta get it on my own. I gotta do it myself. So I took that approach on everything I did, from my music to my videos. I recorded myself, I engineered myself. I got someone, I directed my own videos. I basically just had someone hold a camera. The whole Musty video was shot in that apartment. That's my first video. They got 1 million views, 1 million plays, everything. It's like the world famous Hollywood swap meet right here. This is the exact swap meet where Justin Bieber was at, where the MSs came up to him and they was like, Justin Bieber, you in the hood. This is 2 blocks from my grandma's house, so I spent a lot of my time right here, a lot of my time. I did a piece of the Heavy video right here, and this was a Sears. It's like a famous Sears building. This shit been abandoned for so many years. I did a big piece of the Heavy video inside there, and I did it on the street right here. This swap meet, man, I had to come every day. Every day I had to come in here. It was open, like, look, they closed down a big piece of it, but it was open. The whole shit was open. I had to come here and get a new Pro Club every day. So that's where my relationship with Pro Club come from. Because every day, like, if you was a kid over here, you for sure had to come get a fresh black tea, fresh white tea every morning before school. I grew up listening to Nas, DMX, you feel me? So I think that's where I got a lot of my style from, like the East Coast. So that's why when you see me wearing puffy jackets and North Faces and all that, it's because I grew up watching Mobb Deep videos and all that shit. So that's, I take that away from them, from the whole East Coast. I used to love their whole swag. This is my big uncle's room right here. They added this little lock shit right here because I come through with a knife and I open the whole door, sneak in that bitch and steal all his CDs. Man, this is everything I grew up listening to. Scarface, Jadakiss, Method Man, DJ Quick, Exhibit, Ice Cube, Fat Joe, Snoop, Tupac, of course, come on. 3-6. I just go through everything, just soaking up game. I didn't know who anyone was. My girl got a Nas quote right here. She got a Nas quote tatted on her right here, so they love Nas. So I think it was only right I named my son Sincere. We named him after Nas and Belly. Being a father, I think it made the biggest change of my life. Right when my son was about to be born is when I feel like I was in a group, and that's when the whole group broke up. Because I was like, I almost felt like the group depended on me, because I am like such a big creative and I played such a big role. But when my son was about to be born, I said, this is the role I gotta play now, the father role. I can't have other people try to depend on me, and I can't be trying to look out for everyone. I really gotta focus on my son. So him being born just changed my whole way of thinking. It made me wanna think smarter and work harder.
It's amazing to see him with his son. I always encourage him because he didn't have that father figure. So when I see the things that he does for his son and the way that the quality time that he spends with his son, it's amazing. It makes me feel so proud that he's breaking the cycle. It's always been so important for me, for him to be there. And so it's amazing. My grandson's amazing. He's so cute. He's so adorable. I love him so much. Wow, this is so amazing.
Sunset Mariscos.
I can't believe it.
Bringing my mom and my grandma to the restaurant was like one of the biggest heartwarming feelings that I think I've ever experienced, you feel me? I didn't know that my mom didn't tell my grandma that I was opening a restaurant. So when we was walking upstairs, I told my grandma, I was like, you know whose restaurant this is, right? She's like, yeah, it's a Marisco spot. I was like, no, it's my restaurant. She was like, what the fuck? She was like, why the fuck you ain't tell me? Seeing my mom cry from me doing such positive things is such a big difference from growing up and me making her cry so much from all the negative shit I ever did. So watching her cry and speak so highly of me and her just looking at her so proud, I think that's one of the best feelings in the world. Rapping and getting money, rapping is just getting my foot in the door to really do everything I want to do. I'm a businessman, and one of the main things I've always wanted to do was invest in stuff. This is my first real investment. She's one of the biggest helps. Like, she run my merch. She run my whole merch company. So she do all the like legwork for me, you feel me? Without her, I don't think I would be able to do it. I'd be too stressed out. So she take a lot off my hands, and she's like one of the biggest helps. And since she is running my merch, we get to hang out so much and spend so much time and just conversating. And she's like one of the biggest parts. She's the biggest part of my team, for real.
I am extremely proud of the man he has become. He's constantly talking about how he wants to make sure that all his siblings are good, that everyone's doing good in the family. He wants to do so much. Like with the restaurant, he's always talked about it. And he's finally at a place where he can achieve all of that.
Siento que es como un sueño hecho realidad, ¿verdad? Y él también lo que me da más alegría, que él es feliz, que él pudo alcanzar con todo su esfuerzo todo lo que tiene ahorita.
I'm super proud of myself because the place I started from that little tiny apartment to the multi-million-dollar house I'm in right now, I couldn't be more proud of myself. And if I die now, I could die happy because I've done so much shit that other people like would never see in their whole life, you feel me? Billions of people want to be in my position and they ain't never seen no shit like that. I think as I get older and I mature more, my musical style might change, my beat choice might change. It might all get a little different, but it's gonna stay true to me and true to myself because this shit is embedded in me.